Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and yes, reviewing, something else Star Trek, and I'm back reviewing Lower Decks, Season 2. So finally, I'm reviewing Season 2 of Lower Decks, and, right before, Season 3 comes out, and yeah, I knew that I had to. Here's the thing, I had been meaning to watch, continue watching Lower Decks. I had only watched Season 1, and if you guys remember, I did review that. God, when I reviewed Season 1, I reviewed all the episodes, but this time I'm doing this differently. I'm just going to be doing one video and reviewing, the whole seasons, and that's what I have been doing, currently, and that's what I would prefer doing. But sometimes, hey, I would do, say, a 3-part review of a show, like I've done with Star Wars or sometimes Marvel. So you get my point. All right, but anyways, so Season 2 of Lower Decks. Actually, I quite enjoyed this season, maybe more than, say, Season 1. I mean, I don't know. For Season 1, I feel like it was kind of mixed for the first season, because, well, it was the first season, and it was the start of Lower Decks. But, I guess things seem to have been lightened up, like, things got better when Season 2 happened, I guess, But yeah, Season 2 I thought was pretty good, because the episodes, the first 2 episodes, we do see because especially what happened, in the last episode of Season 1, where Brad, he transferred to the Titan, and under the command of Captain William Riker, and so, of course, eventually, he does return back to, gosh, what is the name of that episode? Cerritos, yeah, he does transfer back to the USS Cerritos, when at one point, just like, say, what happened with Riker, because a clone of Riker, was born because of a transporter malfunction, and the same thing happened with Brad. And so his clone now serves on the Titan, while the actual Brad now, serves on the USS Cerritos. I gotta say, because especially for, Season 2, there was a lot more of the Pakleks, yeah, and especially a new crew member of the Cerritos. I wish I could remember the alien species names, but from the Next Generation episode of Darmok, those aliens with that very interesting language, Rai and Tanagra. But yeah, the good thing is that this Starfleet crew member, actually is using an English translation, so he's speaking English. Also, some aliens that do appear in this, it's really cool because, of course, the alien species from the Darmok episode, as I said. Also, a few alien species from, of course, the animated series, of Star Trek, Kirk and the Crew, the original animated series, basically, I guess you could say, where this one alien that would appear in this one episode, that actually would probably be my favorite, I want to say, and that being, of course, oh man, hold on a second, I've lost my place. It's the Excretus, I think that's what it's called, and in that one, because the description is when a Constellant arrives on the USS Cerritos to run drills. The lower deck and bridge crew are required to swap duties. And that alien, this consultant is this alien species that was in the animated series where, it's green and it can actually, its body parts can come off, and can float. And, how the aliens talk, this one is blah blah blah, with the 2 words, this one. So it's cool seeing that alien species again. And man, that alien species, that one alien just having an attitude. Well, some of the aliens having their own attitudes, But and all, yeah, in that episode, because because the lower deck and bridge crew they're swapping duties. Like the lower deck crew become like, say, the main crew, like I guess, the bridge crew, and basically the bridge crew go to the lower decks, basically. Yeah, especially because, like, one moment, like, there's one, because they're in these, what are they called, in these tanks, I guess you could say, and like holodeck programs, basically. And there's one moment where Beckett, like, there's this one program that runs where everybody is naked and making out and so on. Oh God. And hey, at least it's cartoon, so that's a relief. Well, you know what? I even found out that the one episode from Next Generation, the Captain's Holiday, the captain goes on holiday, and that's when he would meet Vosh and something to do with the Ferengi. And I guess originally, Gene Roddenberry was considering having, like, say, homosexuals or stuff like that. It's a long story, and from what I heard, but anyways, well, hey, something like this did make its way, but as a hologram program. Tom Paris made an appearance in season 2. That's great. We get to see one of the Voyager cast members making an appearance, and yeah. I'll even say in the same episode, the Borg Queen appears in the program that's being run for Brad, and Alice Krige, I think I said her last name right, who played the Borg Queen, from First Contact and would appear again in the final episode of Voyager Endgame. She reprises the role of the Borg Queen. That was good for her, And yeah, because season 2 came out before season 2 of Picard, so yeah. It's a shame that Alice didn't reprise the role of the Borg Queen. I know that I probably have established this before, but again, it's a shame that she didn't reprise the role of the Borg Queen in season 2 of Picard. Oh well. Maybe because, she got a bit older and something like that, Well, like, the same goes for Brent Spiner's Data. I can't, I understand. And also, like, there another great episode. I think it was, the second to last, where it's not just, we see other, like, ships, like, there's one of a Vulcan ship, a Klingon bird of prey, and Paklix, where we see the lower deck crew members, like, the Klingons in the lower decks and the Vulcans, and that's really cool. Even say when, at one point, like, the Klingon bird of prey kind of teams up with the Paklix and kind of taking on the USS Cerritos. But, the lower deck Klingon crew, they are against what the Klingon captain is doing. The Klingon captain wants to destroy the USS Cerritos, and I don't think this Klingon captain doesn't care, because of the Klingons being part of the Federation and so on. Hey, I know I've said this before, even like say to my parents, like, hey, and it's true. Sometimes there would be, evil Klingons. There's no doubt about that. And of course, the Klingon lower deck crew, one of them does kill the Klingon captain, and now he becomes the Klingon captain. Yeah, so, like, also, like, it was really funny at the end of the episode where, we see the Borg in the lower decks of the Borg ship. All they do is, of course, just get in they're in their positions, and charging, and that's pretty much all, like, say, the Borg do. Yeah. And also, another familiar face who we hadn't seen for a long time, and especially since season 2 of The Next Generation, Sonia Gomez, played by Leisha Naff. I think I said her full name right. She reprises the role of Sonia, this time Captain Sonia Gomez, of an Excelsior class starship. Good for Sonia getting that class starship. Yeah, even, like, say at one point in the final episode, because that's when Sonia appears, if I hadn't said it already. At one point in that episode, because, her starship, something happens to it. Like, okay, yeah. The crew of the USS Cerritos are tasked with aiding an Excelsior-class starship on a first contact mission. And at some point later, a little bit later in the episode, like, the Excelsior class, like, loses control or something, and the USS Cerritos, does, of course, save the starship. And also, even during that episode, I think during that episode, yeah, like, somewhere between season 2, like, well, Brad trying to fit in with, like, say, the most top red uniforms crew members on the Cerritos, and even say pretending to lie that he was from Hawaii, etc. Yeah, and I'll even say there was a moment where I think yeah, like, Devana Tendi, she kind of lost it and became like this this monster or whatever, like crab claws or whatever, earlier in the season. And also, yeah, even at one point, Carol, the captain of the Cerritos, Carol Freeman, she, at one point, like right before the final episode ends of season 2, she gets arrested because earlier in the show, apparently it was mistaken, and it's not the case, that she kind of teamed up with the Paklix, and also had to do with the Klingons and so on. So she's framed for something she had nothing to do with. And God, what a way to end season 2. But for that to happen and, to be continued. Wow. So, okay, but to wrap things up and to speed things up, etc., I thought that season 2 was a good season. I think it had some pretty good episodes. As I said, I've talked about with some of my favorite episodes, and, some of the cameos we got in this. Again, once again, we got the appearance of Riker, Sonia Gomez, Tom Paris. Yeah, I almost forgot to mention that, even because Tom Paris, he made a special visit. He paid a visit to the Cerritos. So, yeah, and that's another thing too, because we got Tom Paris, and for Prodigy, we got, of course, the return of Janeway and Chakotay. I think that's how you say his name. You know what I'm talking about, because he had the tattoo on his head. So, yeah, and I hope we get, and also 7 of 9 appearing on Picard. I hope we get more appearances of the Voyager characters. Like, hey, the Doctor, for example, you know what I'm talking about, and B'Elanna Torres. Like, okay, if Tom Paris appears, where's B'Elanna? Hey, at the end of Star Trek Voyager, in the last episode, and before it ended, they had their child. So I think, we deserve to, see what's going on with them, and yeah, that'd be great. And by the way, because since season 3 is right around the corner and we'll be getting it this coming August, it's pretty exciting because, hey, we're getting more familiar faces, and, this time we're getting Deep Space Nine, and it's kind of teased of who we're going to be seeing from Deep Space Nine, because nobody from Deep Space Nine has once again appeared in anything else yet. But however, there is one, and we know that Martok, Klingon General Martok, is coming back for season 3 of Lower Decks. So that's one of them, because he first appeared in Deep Space Nine. So that'll be great to see him. Hey, maybe we could get, say, Dr. Bashir, Chief O'Brien, maybe. I mean, you know what? Even Chief O'Brien was mentioned, in season 1 of Lower Decks, like a statue of him, basically. Oh, and maybe we'll get the appearance of Quark. That's a possibility. Not to mention, well, earlier in season 2 of Lower Decks, there was one episode that, where the Ferengis, they capture some of the Cerritos crew, and, they must Brad and what's his face? The with the cybernetic device. Is it Ruth? I don't know. It's not showing the full name. I hate this, like, when it doesn't show the full name. Like, they mistaken Beckett, like, she's a killer or something. Oh, yeah, and even Brad and, you know, the ensign, they mentioned the Ferengis about Quark, and I know who Quark is. So, jumping back to what I was saying about Quark, I think there's a good chance we'll see Quark, you know, in Season 3 of Lower Decks, because, well, him being on Deep Space Nine, and it's his bar, you know, it's his own bar, Quark's bar, so yeah. And Major Kira, possibly, you never know, and we'll find out when Season 3 happens, and I look forward to watch Season 3. And so, with all that being said, what did you guys think of Season 2 of Lower Decks? What did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review a like as always. So, with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Season 2 of Lower Decks. More reviews coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And until Season 3, take care, peace out, and live long and prosper.